Hello and welcome to Treasure in Every Verse. I'm your host, author and Bible teacher, Kevin Madison. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, friends, look, this is one of those episodes where it's in between the study that we're currently journeying on in the book of Revelation through the seven churches. And it's really to address a comment that I received from one of the folks that typically watch the episodes on my YouTube channel, Treasure in Every Verse. So if you're not familiar with that, essentially, folks, what I do is I take the the uh, the lessons that we have here, and I take it and I break it up into uh, several episodes. So these live videos actually go on about anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. I try to max it out at an hour and a half. But then I take it and I upload it here to Treasure in Every Verse. So if you ever missed an episode, this is the YouTube channel. And if you go in and you subscribe to the YouTube channel, what happens is you'll get the episodes that I'm doing all the time. And you can come here to the playlist and you can look at any episode that you want. Every single one that I've done in the past, they're all here. They're all from laying the foundation series to all of them. I actually put them in playlists so that you won't have to sift through over 1,000 videos. But that's what's going on. So on this YouTube channel, I received a comment. Not to receive a lot of comments. I don't do videos on every single one of them, but there are some questions that I get that are extremely important to our life, talking about Christians and the way that we live. And then there are questions that I get, like this one. I get a lot, and instead of just writing and explaining it, since I get it often, and this last time the gentleman asked that I do a video, I'm going to do the video on it. And it should just be wrapped up into one because it's pretty straightforward what we're doing here. So let's get into it. What are we talking about? So there's this thing that the Bible calls ages, right? So when you talk about law and grace and all this stuff, what you have to realize is what's going on. God has a timetable in everything that he's doing. Okay? In the Bible, the timetable is broken up into ages. And there are 10 of them, really. It's 10 ages. And I've walked most of you all through these 10 ages, and I've shown you this breakdown before. And I'll show it to you again right quick. Let me get to it. And what's going on is if you don't understand this, it's going to make it really, really hard for you to actually see what's going on in God's plan. Because this really, it's what's happening. And God laid it out for us. Here we go, right here. Yes. All right. So look at this, folks. If you don't understand, this is a bit busy, but I'll take you to the top. If you don't understand this right here, the ages, you're gonna have a trouble understanding the entire book. Why? Because that's the way it's broken out. It's broken out in these ages right here. You got this one right here, right? The age of the beginning, where God was out there by himself doing whatever it is that he was doing, coming up with his reconciliation plan, wanting to show his attributes, doing his thing with the Redeemer, that is the cross. The cross happened way back here. That's why Jesus referenced stuff like, in the beginning it wasn't so. The beginning, the beginning before he created anything. That's what he's talking about. So you if you don't know that, I don't know where you're going to put that kind of statement when Jesus says it. And then when in other parts of the book, it starts talking, and not Genesis, But in other parts of the book, it starts talking about the beginning, or in the beginning, or before the foundation of. What are you going to do with that? What are you thinking? Well, you should be allowing the book to think for you, because the book is very clear on what God means by that. When he says the beginning or before the foundation, automatically you should be coming to hear. Why? Because that's what the book is talking about. If you end up somewhere in here, in these ages, when the Bible is talking about the beginning, folks, you got a problem. Because you are going to miss out on what God is actually talking about, and you're going to misunderstand, and then you're going to misappropriate what God just said. So this is what this is why it's so important. You have to know this. It's important to your understanding of the book. And then this is after the beginning. This age isn't talked about in great detail in the Bible, but it's given to us. We were told in several places, in several books, that the angels were present when God created the earth. They were not present when God created the heaven and the heavens, but they were present when God created the earth. That is, everything that's visible or discoverable to man. They were there. I mean, do you know that? Did you get that part out of the book? Because the book tells us that's true. That's why they know stuff that you and I don't know. They live in a realm called the spirit realm. This right here. That realm have different laws that governs it. And they are not susceptible to the laws of the physical world. It has no bounds on them. They're not subjected to gravity. They're not subjected to pain like you and I are. They cannot die. I thought when anybody sinned, they die. But death in the Bible is not physical death. Death in the Bible is separation from God. Separation from life. So what is death in the Bible? Separation from life. Well, whose life? God is. So what does death mean in the Bible? Separation from God, the one who is life. That's how the angels die, the unholy ones, the ones that sin. They are going to eventually be separated from God. And so will every other sinner. So if you don't understand that, folks, then your knowledge base and your wisdom, your ability to apply what you know, and your understanding of what God is doing, you're going to be hurt by not knowing that. Just a simple example. If you are in need of fire and somebody gave you a box of matches. No, people don't use matches these days, but I'm going to say it anyway. Or let's get a lighter. And you don't even know anything about the lighter. Never seen one before. Never worked it before. You're going to be running around in the dark trying to find something to start a fire, when all you have to do is flick the little thing and fire will come out and you can start as big a fire as you want. Why? Because your knowledge base is deficient. And you can't apply what you know to the lighter because you don't know it. You see? That's what's going on with the ages. Now, what are we talking about? We're going to be talking about this right here. This age right here, the age of law and the age of grace. That's what we're going to be making a comparison to. Just those two. Now, let me let you in on something. The law existed before God gave it to Moses. What? How in the world? Hey, where there is a law, there is a lawgiver. So did the law exist before he wrote it down? Of course it did. The same laws existed. It just wasn't given to a nation to obey. It was given to people. What people? It was given to Adam. It was given to everybody between Adam and Moses. I'm going to prove it to you in the scriptures. All right, now let's go. Just wanted to say that. Okay, so let's go to my notes. So look at this. Which parts of the law are we responsible to keep under grace? Which part? Is this big enough? Can I? Yeah, I can. Okay, let me make sure I get